Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. The way that this reading is going to work is that we are going to see which zodiac pops out first. That will be who the reading is for. If a zodiac does not come out during the read, then this will just be a collective reading. If a zodiac does pop out, I will put the name of that zodiac in the title of this reading. The first card that we are starting with is Seven of Pentacles. I kind of get the feel of you dreaming about something. It can be something that you are taking a close look at here. So we have Seven of Pentacles, we have Three of Pentacles. All right. Seven of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles added together lead to the Ten of Pentacles. So maybe you're not alone in doing this. Or it can mean that you are learning from a process that you're currently in. So Three of Pentacles is a card that does speak about collaboration when we have other people involved. It's also a card that's connected with learning and grasping things and understanding. And having Seven of Pentacles here, like maybe there's some type of process that you're in the middle of and you're learning as you go. It kind of feels like learning the language of whatever this is. Whether this be something that you're doing like alone with yourself, or this be something that you're doing with another person. It can be like a project that you're working on. It can be a relationship. It's something that you have going on presently. And whether there are people there or not, you're in the process of figuring out like how to effectively do this. And you can feel like you're very much in the middle of this happening. But I feel like this Seven of Pentacles is feeling very attentive to me. Like whatever this is that you have growing in the garden, I'm seeing there be a lot of thought that's being given to it. I'm seeing there be a lot of paying attention, a lot of focusing. If you have another person or other people involved in this, there can be like very deliberate, intentional communication and listening that's happening and working together that's happening. And I'm seeing Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So this can mean that things are moving forward. So it's not going to be a feeling of being stuck. Or if you were feeling stuck, you're not going to be feeling stuck any longer. I get this energy again with the Seven of Pentacles. This feels like paying a lot of attention. Like maybe whatever this is, it's you're giving like 90% of your attention to, can be. It feels like a very high amount of attention that you're giving to this. Maybe it's really all you want to focus on right now. I guess for a good reason. We have the Nine of Pentacles coming out, so this would be something that you enjoy doing, so why not spend your time doing it? I'm getting confirmation of this. I feel like things are going really, like, abundantly well, actually. This feels like everything running smoothly, to the point where I'm like, why are we doing a reading on this? What's going on? Like, what direction would be needed here? It seems like everything's actually just going great. Wow, what is this? I'm seeing the Three of Cups as well. Okay, so we have something that we're all focusing on with the Seven of Pentacles, something that you're focusing on, something that maybe you and another person or other people are focusing on. There's the working together, there's the figuring things out, there's the deliberate communication, there's the collaborating that's happening. Like we're taking care of this. How do we best take care of this? How do we get this to grow? It feels like something like, I don't know why this is reminding me of like taking care of something that feels very precious, like an animal or something. It feels like whatever this thing is that you have going on. And I mean, it can be anything. It can be actually a physical object. It can be maybe a plant that you're taking care of. It can be something less tangible, like a relationship that you're taking care of. Whatever this is that you have going on here, that you are keeping a very close eye on, I'm seeing there be all of this active work to, it feels very prolific, like actively just getting better and better and better. And this can be like getting better at collabing, getting better at communicating, getting better at riding this wave that's going on here. And then having the Nine of Pentacles feels like wow, look, like stuff is really coming from this, like things are growing, this is really awesome. And it feels too like teamwork. That's what I get the sense of. So we have 3 of Pentacles and then we have 3 of Cups. And so this can be, wow, we figured it out and we're figuring it out and look at what's happening. And I feel like this really big feeling of like happiness and joy and celebration. And it can feel like a sense of, I feel the energy being in one portion, kind of like everybody in their work outfits trying to figure this all out, like their work attire trying to figure it out. And I mean this more in like a mentality. And then with the 9 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups, it just feels more like a celebration of what is being accomplished. And even though with 7 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles, I do feel like this is something that's ongoing. It doesn't feel like we've made it to the top yet or we've totally figured this out. It feels like this is something that's in the process of developing, but what has developed so far is something worth celebrating. And so there can be something that is coming together here where it is a recognition of that. It's like you did good with the team and now you guys get to have a party. Or like something went well within the dynamic and now you can be celebrating. You know, you can be like figuring something out and now feel like you're hitting a milestone of some sort. And I'm seeing there be like a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. And I think that it comes from the feeling of like we have been here trying to figure things out and been so intentional about that. And then seeing that go successfully, like, wow, this is actually really working here. That 3 of Cups feels so sweet because like there's a reason to celebrate. There is something to celebrate here. And it just feels really, really nice. It feels like one of those really, what's the word that I'm looking for here? It's beyond just feeling satisfying. But maybe that's part of it too. Maybe this feels very satisfying. Like you're taking care of something and you're seeing what you're doing working and that everybody's on the same team with one another. And then everybody feels equally happy about this too. Of whatever this is that's becoming. Because I think too that the feeling would be different if we had somebody in the 7 of Pentacles keeping such a close eye on something, only for things not to really be working out or not really going anywhere. Like we wouldn't really be celebrating this. It feels like the energy has been put in, the effort has been being put in. And so there is this feeling of when things go successfully, that feeling of satisfaction that comes with it. And then just like not even wanting to contain that. Like, why do we need to contain that? There are so many things that don't work out. This is working out, so let's celebrate. I see you and whoever this is that you're working with, it's like you're in the rocket ship with them, okay? And something starts malfunctioning and you're like, what's gonna happen? We don't know what's gonna happen with this. Is the whole thing going to implode? And things are starting to feel very rocky, like you know something's wrong, but then you get the right calculations and then everything's fine. It feels like that to me. Now, I'm seeing Page of Swords and I'm seeing the Tower. Let's clarify the Tower. Temperance is coming out on the bottom of the deck, so I'd say that this is definitely not something to like panic your way through. When we have a Tower going on, it can feel like a little bit of an earthquake that's happening, and you're not meant to be panicking during that time. Seeing Temperance feels like just sort of hold it together, allow things to stabilize, and then we'll figure it out after that. But I do get a feeling of if everything's like all up in the air and it's feeling very crazy, it may not be the best time to be like trying to do something here with that. It may be like kind of ineffective. Interesting. So Tower is being clarified by 10 of Swords, the Sun, and 3 of Cups. So this can go from something that had happened that may be hard to digest, but is then understood, and then it feels like things actually come together, but it may have come from like kind of a rough situation. But I feel like there's an understanding that's gained from this, and I do feel like things come back together genuinely. It's not forced by any means. And this can be seen as being a breakthrough too. Interesting. With Page of Swords and the Tower, there can possibly be like a little bit of a snapping. I want to get more though. I don't know why, but I feel like the Tower is weird. It feels almost like it doesn't fit with the rest of the reading, but when that type of sentiment comes through in the reading, there's a reason for it, and it is significant that it doesn't really blend in. Wow, that it doesn't blend in with everything else. I had 3 cards that came out. Okay. Something happens and then things move rapidly after that point. So Tower and then 8 of Wands. This is like something happening, and this can create a very solid trajectory where it's like for some reason all the energy converges at this point and then all goes in this to the same place in the same direction. This can also be a very quick movement because Mars moves very quickly. 8 of Wands is seen as a card that moves very quickly, symbolizes something that's moving very quickly. So this can be like moving somewhere very quickly. It can be doing something very quickly. It can be taking action very quickly. And because it's Mars, there's like something that one wants to accomplish, but it can feel very spontaneous. Like the Tower is kind of feeling a bit like Uranus to me. So this can be like abruptly and spontaneously, I'm going to do this. And it can happen very, very quickly. So it can be sudden. This feels sudden. I think that that's the best word for it. Having Page of Swords be before that, I feel like something went on that was... Let's actually clarify Page of Swords. I'm getting something coming through, but it feels kind of generic and I want to get something more detailed. I will say this though, some of you, this can possibly be somebody coming through. I don't know if that's kind of a separate statement from the rest of the reading, but I am seeing something going on here. Some of you may like run into somebody, you may be bumping into somebody. Someone could be reaching out to you. I feel in a way almost like there's other stuff than that that's going on within the reading. Like maybe somebody... I mean, it's a Page of Swords. Maybe somebody says something unexpectedly. But I want to get more on this. We're going to pull on the Page of Swords. Just something, I'm seeing you be somewhere where there's like this ongoing interaction that's happening and something kind of like spontaneous or abrupt happens. But I'm not seeing it be like things fall apart. It feels like things come together, actually. So it may bring something together. It may like make something happen, be a catalyst for something here, for something. Because this feels like maybe socially something is coming together. Like maybe you're seeing somebody. I mean, 3 of Cups and 6 of Cups can possibly be a reunion of some sort, or it can be a gathering, it can be a get-together, it can be a date, I'm also hearing. But this wouldn't come as a surprise because we have 7 of Pentacles, so this has actively been being invested in. So this isn't, but it may be like, I didn't expect things to take that turn, or I didn't think that that was going to happen now. It's like if you're watching something grow and every morning when you wake up, the plant grew an inch, you're not going to, and you're seeing that happen for like 3 weeks, okay? It just grows 1 inch. So every day when you wake up, you look at the plant, it grew 1 inch, like pretty consistently. That's about it. You're not expecting on that 4th week to go look at the plant and it's like 3 shoots that have come out from it and it actually grew like 14 inches. It's like you're not really expecting something like that to happen. I feel like that is the type of energy here. It feels like boom, like something is happening, but I'm seeing it be the 3 of Cups. So this is something where it's like connection happens, or like you see somebody, or you can like bump into somebody, but I don't think that this would be really feeling super random. It just feels sudden. Because it's not like you wake up in that 4th week and you're like, wow, there's a plant in my house. It's like the plant has been in the house. Like we knew that that was there. And you know that it's possible for it to grow like that, but you wouldn't have expected that given this situation. I'm seeing it be something like this, where it's like growth is a good thing, right? Like we're seeing 3 of Cups here. This is something that's happy, but it feels like I wasn't expecting this to happen. Maybe like not right now anyway. Maybe too somebody like sees something or witnesses something or observes something and then very quickly wants to do something about that, which this was a theme that came through in one of the other readings. Okay. This is reminding me, the energy of the Page of Swords in this reading is reminding me a little bit. I say a little bit because if you watch that reading, I don't know if it's going to be connected with this, but it's kind of feeling slightly like it. I did a reading called, I think, Going Straight to the Source. This reading will come out a day after that reading, because when I'm recording this, it's February 21st when I'm recording this, and I also recorded that reading Going Straight to the Source today as well, but that one will have come out yesterday, and this one will be today, on, I think, the 26th. Yeah, I think today should be the 26th as far as when you are seeing this. So yeah, it's like something about the Page of Swords in this reading is reminding me a little bit of the Page of Swords in that other reading that would have come out yesterday. I feel like something was learned or something was spoken about, but because we have the Page of Swords there's still a curiosity here, and there is still something that's being figured out. Like the plant has not fully matured, and even though something is happening with things and you're like seeing something like really take off here, it feels like we're still figuring out what's going on here. It doesn't feel like this is fully developed, but I do feel like something is happening suddenly. But maybe this feeling comes from something happening very quickly. Because I'm getting this feeling of I can do it now. And I don't know what that's about, but I'm seeing something that is connected with this. There is an unexpected turn that things take, but I want to say this again. This is like, it's not an unexpected turn where you're like, no, I don't want the roller coaster to go in that direction. I'm seeing it be, the Tower brings something together. So it's not pulling something apart. I mean, for some of you, there can be another situation that falls apart in the meantime as well. That can possibly be something that's going on here. I am seeing the Death card coming out. Or this can maybe be about something that changes drastically. I have to say, on a very intuitive level, because like the cards aren't necessarily saying, but what I'm picking up on here, I feel like this Tower is connected with a situation that may kind of parallel this a bit, and something happens in that situation which has a domino effect on this one. But that's just intuitively what I'm feeling for this, because I'm seeing another energy that's over here, but I don't think that it's connected with what's happening here. I feel like it's something that's happening in a parallel situation that has an impact on your situation here. I'm hearing an alarm going off. Someone may have abruptly or suddenly left something. I'm seeing Death, I'm seeing Three of Swords, I'm seeing Two of Cups, I'm seeing Eight of Cups. This can be like very quickly something happens, and it can be a very like stark contrast, but it can be something that feels like possibly more definitive. This can also mean too that you go through something and it feels like very different than whatever was going on before, and you may be adjusting to that as well, but it can be something that happens somewhat abruptly. Okay. Something else that's coming through with the Six of Cups next to it, what also came out with it, it was when those three cards came out, it was Eight of Wands, it was Six of Cups, and it's Eight of Swords. So Eight of Wands is about the direction that we're going into, and again, it feels like this wasn't really expected to happen, yet here it is and it's happening. So Eight of Wands is that movement, and going into the Six of Cups is like, this is actually going into a place that feels very nice, because Six of Cups is like, maybe you get to like share a special moment with somebody. I'd like to see Six of Cups sometimes as feeling like a sense of emotional reciprocity, and it's something that feels very sweet. It can feel very tender. You can just feel like really connected to what's going on, and especially having Three of Cups above it, like I see this as being something very joyful and something very happy, and something where it's just like very pleasant. Like it reminds me of a vacation, but it feels more oriented towards relationships to me with the Three of Cups and the Nine of Cups. And like Three of Cups, Three of Cups and Six of Cups equals the Nine of Cups. So it's like maybe this was a wish fulfillment that came together even. But because of having this happen very suddenly, there can be like a little bit of hesitance about this, or there can be a little bit of overthinking, or there can be a little bit of like feeling slightly... Eight of Swords is feeling like a little bit mentally rigid. Like maybe something is going on here that has you feeling like there wasn't a whole lot of time possibly to adjust. And so maybe Eight of Swords is kind of like a nervousness. Because it's not Eight of Swords about a situation where you're like, this is terrible and I don't know what to do within it. It's like, it's about something nice. So if you're feeling that way about something nice, I feel this be more nerves than anything, but to also recognize that that is there. This can be some very intense anxiety. We're also having Nine of Swords come out too. You know when something goes on and you feel extremely mentally overstimulated and you feel like you can't really function? I'm seeing that. Or like some type of extreme anxiety, but then I'm seeing Six of Wands, so I feel like this is worked through, but it may feel, there can be a moment or so where this feels very heightened and very intense, but then I'm seeing it be moved through. Yeah, I'm seeing Temperance, so I feel like the energy has to be grounded because something's going on and it feels very electric. And there can just be a lot of things that are being received, and it can feel like a very big focus on the throat chakra, and it can feel difficult to move out of that space. Like, I'm just having a lot of internal dialogue and a lot of narratives right now and a lot of stuff going on, and I'm feeling overstimulated and I'm feeling overwhelmed, even though I'm seeing this be a nice thing because we have the Three of Cups and we have the Six of Cups. So it's like something very sweet and something very beautiful is coming together and something very happy is happening. And I feel too, if you can open yourself up to this and allow yourself to feel this, this actually feels like a huge gift that you are receiving, because life does not always feel like this. And so it can be a time when it's a time where if you can allow yourself to enjoy this and to relax into it, it will be something that I feel like is worth cherishing and worth being present for. And you have to find a way to ground so you can be present. Because you know when you feel anxious about something and you're like not really there, you're like kind of dissociating a little bit. Maybe this is something that feels intense for you and that's why that's going on. You're meant to allow yourself to sort of relax into this so you get to experience this fully. So no, too, don't push something away just because you start feeling heightened. Like, find ways to ground yourself, because this is something nice. So it feels like having to kind of retrain your system a bit here. This may be something that is a really big adjustment that can feel stressful just because of the shift that's going on. That can be something that feels heavy. I think like more on an emotional level, like something feels very intense. That's the feeling. In a way, I don't feel like this is a huge surprise, because I get the sense like this is something that you've actively been putting your energy into. So it's not like just something randomly pops up and you don't know what this is and you're like, where did this come from? It's not like that. This is something that you've had going on. I just get the sense of not really expecting things to go this way. Know too that, remember that part where I was describing something going on and it felt like you're flying in the rocket and then all of a sudden like something starts going on and you're like, we have to figure this out, but it's like very scary in that moment because you don't really know what's gonna happen and it feels kind of high intensity. See, like something like that that's going on where it just may feel like kind of startling or unsettling, and it can be something possibly even jarring. But then I'm seeing things, it's like, but then everything's fine. So I feel like that's the point of everything, is that it ends up actually just being fine. This is part of a shift that needed to be happening. Some of you too, what this is connected with is like needing to take action, but maybe feeling like scared to do that, or like something needs to be said, or there needs to be like some type of response. It's like something like this. Something needs to be done. It feels like maybe more in the vein of like communicating or responding to something, or if something does need to be initiated, initiating that. It's a move that needs to be made. Possibly even something that needs to be clarified, because I'm seeing someone over here being like, the tower is happening, but then I'm seeing there be information that comes, and then it doesn't feel so intense. But there's something about having to wait for that. So maybe something's going on and you don't really know what's happening, but then you're informed. I do get the sense like maybe some of you thought that something was falling apart, and then it's like the opposite of that ends up happening. One of the more difficult prospects of this process can be being in a position where you are open to finding out what you don't know, or you're in a position where you're going to be learning something, where you're going to be figuring something out, and it can be something that you don't already know. And you know, when we find ourselves in a situation where we don't immediately know, where we don't totally understand, where we don't have it all figured out yet, it can be kind of uncomfortable. I feel like something is going on here that's connected with that, and that's what the Page of Swords is doing here. But I feel like there's a feeling of being kind of uncomfortable with not already knowing something, with not already having something figured out, and then feeling a like contracting rather than an expanding. Like rather than opening up and being like, let me listen more, let me tune in more, I feel like something goes on where maybe the immediate thing is to close down. But we have the Three of Pentacles there, so it's like we actually need to be working together here. We need to be like corresponding here. We need to be collaborating here. And then having that Tower and having that Knight of Swords, I just feel like the buildup, like there became maybe a lot of pressure about something, and then it felt like things were kind of going to explode, and maybe something even did happen, but then I'm seeing things come back together. So it's like, it's very temporary what happens, but maybe the energy had nowhere else to go. And so something had to happen, and it may have felt upsetting, or it may have felt uncomfortable. It may have felt unsettling. It may have felt like, what's going to be happening now? Like, now this is going on. Now what's going to happen? But then I'm seeing it's like, everything is so happy. It's like that, the very satisfying ending of the movie that you want to see, that's what happens. And I will say that even though we get a very satisfying end of the movie here that happens, I'm seeing the sequel to this. There's something very big, a very big undertaking that's going to be happening. So off of the back of this situation where it's like that last scene in the movie, like everything comes together and everything is so happy and so connected, this informs a huge, possibly even monumental shift that is going to be occurring in somebody's life, if not more than one person. But I'm seeing a King of Cups, so this can be in somebody's relationship life, in somebody's emotional life. This can be psychologically, something is going on, and I'm seeing something huge. And maybe that's also part of what's happening through this process too. So that's what I'm seeing be going on here. That's what we have happening within the reading. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love. Wait, hold on. I'm seeing Mars, Sagittarius, and also Scorpio. Anything else? If something feels like things are like falling apart or something like that, don't panic. It's going to come back together. You need to be just, you know, because I feel like sometimes it's moving fast, sometimes it's moving slow, and you have to be down for the different paces, and there are different paces throughout this. All you need to know is that everything comes together and that it's going to be good at the end of the day, okay? Like that 3 of Cups and that 6 of Cups and the King of Cups there is something very, very wonderful that is coming together here. And it is going to be enjoyed as well. All right, now we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.